shirt on, and I was like,
an internet connection would be good.
Yeah, last time you were shirtless and between lunges. All right, we're
I
live.
just got off work, so.
Oh, very good.
Why do you work, dude? Why do you do that to yourself? You're rich.
Is that what people think?
I guess that's what I think. But I've got a very low bar, dude. So to me, you probably are.
You might have heard when Taylor was on with Brent, he said he earns tens of dollars.
I'm rich in experience.
Nice.
I live a very fulfilled life.
I like that.
All right, mostly live. It is live. What? We're live, aren't we? What's wrong? No, I think we're fine. Okay. What the fuck is going on? People are like, I don't understand. Anyway, JR says, bussing for real, no cap. Yeah, great. Good input, JR. All right. So this is a semi-final. We've got last week's winner, Seth Page. The week before, Taylor Self, who has a cut on his noggin from a bargain basement razor. He's really willing to bleed for the show. And Pat Vellner, fresh off Wodapalooza with himself and Tres Leches, BK and Travis. Okay, you guys know how it works. Anyone that's just watching for the first time, you get 3. I need to fucking psych myself up a bit here. We've got 3 topics.
Let's go.
You've got 60 seconds per topic. We're going to start with Seth, then Taylor, then Pat. Then the next round it'll be Taylor, then Pat, then Seth. And then the last round, Pat will go first, Seth will go last. After each round, you get 20-second rebuttal. I just remembered I needed a pen. And you get points for your arguments, either their level of passion or their hotness of take, or their just like sense. And actually, you can earn, as Pat proved the other week, you can earn points by like body slamming people with Tilly Vale insults as well. That's also a good way to earn points. Once it's not on something they can't change about themselves, like if you're slagging off their personal appearance, I mean, that's not really fair. Okay, do you use the hunt method for to allocate spots to the final? No, I just pick my favorite. I've already chosen who's going to win this. It doesn't matter what anyone says. No, it doesn't.
I knew it.
All right. So before we get started, because I forgot this the other week and that was really embarrassing. If you go to btwb.com/all-in-one, you can. What did Sousa call it? White glove your clientele over onto Beyond the Whiteboard. And that means that all of their stuff migrates. So you don't actually have to do anything. It takes a headache out of it. And all their details migrate over for you. Or you can just download Beyond the Whiteboard and use it as the world's premier workout tracking app. All right. Topic number 1. Based off Wodapalooza, that's just too long, 10 seconds, isn't it? Based off Wodapalooza this weekend and the changes that had to happen with the events, my question is, do CrossFit events need to have a roof? You may or may not have seen this question asked on another debate-based panel show, but I had to come up with this first, so it's fine. All right, Seth, you're up. You've got 60 seconds, and off you go.
Well, I'm going to take the stance off the games more so than Wodapalooza because there's been controversies in the past with outdoor events. Basically, I think to decide the answer to this question, you might be asking the wrong question. I think that the games or even Wodapalooza has to identify what it is they're trying to do. Are they trying to find the actual fittest through a test, or is it just a sporting event where the elements sometimes play a role like in any other professional sport? So I think until you define whether we're actually doing a rigid test where we need consistency and complete fairness versus a sporting event, which I think more people would like to watch, I think the elements are just fine and they play a kind of a cool part of it. I don't really care if it takes away a little bit of fairness here and there. Right now it's a sporting event is what it feels like to talk about some controversy with one lane being sticky on sleds or rings blowing around on Bayfront like it has in years past. I think that's kind of part of the sport now and lends to some entertainment. Unless you're doing a very rigid test, I say let the elements come in and let it play out.
Good stuff. All right, Taylor, you're up. You've got 60 seconds and off you go.
Yes, I think in this case, in all cases, I guess, because I don't think any of the competitions have anywhere near the experience that the games has to say, okay, the elements are playing a role. We need to have a backup plan, and this backup plan is going to be effective and efficient. That clearly wasn't the case at Wadapalooza. Hate to say it, but the contingency plans fucking sucked. And beyond that, the standards for them blew. If you looked at Hiller's videos of the strict pull-ups, it was just terrible. So that's to one end. The other end, I think, to me, weather playing a role isn't a big issue, whether it's just a sporting event or if it's just finding a fittest. What is the big issue is that they don't have a contingency plan or a backup plan that makes any sense or that's implemented in an efficient way whatsoever. And it just seems to me that events specifically like Wadapalooza or events outside the games are incapable of having good plans as a backup in place. So just take that out of it. Buy a fucking roof. You got $1 million from Tier. Suck it up.
All right, Pat, you're up. Off you go.
Classic Taylor thinking loudness is an actual personality or a point. No, I agree with Seth. I think that sporting events, it would rob a lot of events of their ability to be individual and unique if we forced something like that on them for it to be like an arena-based thing. I think you're right. At the games level, if we want that, it's something like we want absolute fairness. It's something that maybe is value. But even think about moving to Dallas, how people are already mourning the loss of North Field or the soccer field and outdoor events. They provide a unique entertainment element and just another layer to competition that's pretty exciting and cool. I disagree with Taylor completely. I think the contingency plans they applied at Wadapalooza were actually very effective and very well done and very well communicated. If you're going to harp on standards, then like go fly a kite, buddy. Like, yeah, there's going to be errors and judges all the time. And that's something that we have to deal with, but that's not the question. I think weatherproof plans are doable and they actually showed it done well at Waza.
All right. 20-second rebuttal this time. So Seth, you're going until the clock goes to 40. Off you go.
I'm sticking with what I said. I think, like, if you go to Wadapalooza in general, you expect it to rain. It rains every fucking year at Wadapalooza. You just know what you're getting yourself into if you're going to compete as an individual or team. It's just the way it is. And at the games level, again, define what it is we're doing. Are we doing a test or a sport? Right now, it's a sport, and I think elements are part of the sport, especially outside.
All right. So you're actually pretty bang on with stopping there. All right, Taylor, you got 20-second rebuttal. Off you go.
Maybe the communication with Pat was great because he's got Dylan's personal phone number, but I know personally that our last place team with Michelle Basnet didn't get a text about their heat starting until 2 minutes beforehand. That's crazy because of the weather. So I think that's dumb. My rebuttal in general. Also, Danielle Brandon agrees. So that should be worth its weight in gold alone.
Right. Hang on a sec. Sorry. I wasn't expecting that Danielle Brandon one. Right, Pat, off you go, 20 seconds.
I actually agree with you on the heat thing. That was a huge miss by Waza, but that was not a weather contingency. That was just a communication problem. The weather contingencies were briefed at the beginning of the day. The decisions were made early in the day when they saw weather coming. They did an outstanding job doing it. I think one thing weather that sucks is if we have outdoor play events, weather.
Oh, you're 20 seconds up, Pat. Sorry.
Shame.
Right. Let's
Tougher
go.
fans.
Oh, you just lost yourself a point. I'm joking. That'd be funny though. Right. Let's see. So I need to show your names. And then I need to edit your names.
Ooh, Pat quit already.
All right. Pat, done. Taylor, done. And Seth, I'm changing all your names so that they fit on the screen easier. Done. All right. So after round one, oh, sorry, I said I Pat muted.
Damn, taking in the rear.
After round
I
one,
muted myself. I was coughing.
Oh, sorry. Pat's on 2.5. Seth's on 2.5 and Taylor's on 2. I thought Seth and Pat made some good points, and I gave Pat half a point for his body slam of Taylor at the start of the point. A new member, thanks very much. Anybody can join up and oh look, there's Brent. I wonder, yeah, it's great to have the support of your countrymen. All right, so second topic. Again, following on from Wadapalooza, can an event thrive with teams and individual competitions running concurrently at the same time, or like on the same weekend. Taylor, you're up first. You got 60 seconds. Off you go.
I guess first, I would need your definition of thrive. I think to my perception, the answer is no, they can't thrive. I've never once watched the games and have been interested in team competition. I think at Wodapalooza, the team competition is super interesting, but they've now kind of segmented both. The problem with what they're doing is it seems like they have half of their resources allocated to both individual and team. I wish they would just cut team out, make it all about individual, make it all about team, cut individual out so that they can design the programming, lay out the floors, do everything in a way that makes it most appealing to watch as a spectator. I think a couple of the events were set up in a way that weren't very fun to watch. Sandbag Send on Tina Hills is one example. I think the games should just stick to individual competition. Nobody watches team anyways. That's my opinion. I just don't like it. I think put all of your focus on one or the other so that the fans can get the best of each.
Okay, Pat, you're up. You got 60 seconds. Off you go.
I'm going to say that what I think thrive means
dear.
is financially viable. I'm not getting through.
No, you're good.
Oh, so is it financially viable? I think the only competitions that are really financially viable are ones that have large community divisions and large team divisions and that kind of thing. So I think if we want the sport to have fans and have people that would want to be involved, you need that. Do those events need to be the same ones that display the individuals and the sporting side at the highest level? No, they don't. But if you have competitions that we can run, many that are maybe run by the same organizations that can generate revenue, then they can float those individual competitions that inevitably run at a loss because they always do. So I think more types of events that are like exhibitions that bring individuals in to prop up the community divisions and get a lot of people there are probably a better answer. And then we have elite competitions on the side.
Good stuff. Owen made some great points there in the background as well. He was echoing exactly what you're saying. It's great. Great to have a backup. All right, Seth, you've got 60 seconds. Off you go.
You got to put the events on a spectrum. The closer you get down to a local competition, the more the team events will thrive and you can get more participation that way. The further you get up to the elite level, the more you have to start cutting teams out, especially at Wodapalooza or especially at the games where I agree with Taylor. No one watches it. It's garbage. There's a lot of people who shouldn't even be at the games or call themselves a games athlete. So when you're talking thriving, you're either talking about, fans participating and watching or the event making money. The only way local events make money is if you do a team event. That's it. If you want to run one at your gym, it has to be a team. When it gets up to the highest level, you have to tell the stories of the individuals. And the teams just detract from that and distract people and take away from it. I think if you do want to keep teams, the way you do it's very simple. You cut teams and you make the partner world championships. People would love to see people pair up, whether it's guy, girl, or guy, girl, girl, and go at it. That is a storyline. That's entertaining. That's exciting. That should be the new team format. Kill the rest of it. It sucks, and a lot of people shouldn't be there.
I'd nearly give you a point for just getting out the words guy, girl, girl, without stumbling across it. That was pretty impressive. All right, Taylor, you got 20 seconds rebuttal. Off you go.
I think making a competition financially viable in and of itself, meaning that the event itself in person is making money, I don't know that will ever happen. I'm not sure how financially viable a single NFL game is. I would assume most of their revenue comes from ads on like television and also like merchandise sales for a team.
Yeah, your time is up there, Taylor. Sorry. All right, Pat, you got 20 seconds rebuttal. Off you go.
You guys are funny with your gatekeeping about what it means to be a games athlete. I just think that's adorable. But I think that there's a lot of different team formats that can exist and be successful. We've become too used to one specific look of what competition is, and there's tons of different ways to do it. We need creative minds to get out and try new things because there's a lot of ways that we can explore to make things more viable.
Good stuff. Seth, off you go.
Yeah, I think for things to be viable and thrive, you have to be able to tell the story behind it. Watching random athletes do seemingly random events year after year is not that exciting. The more you narrow the field down to individuals or even a partner version, the better you can tell the story in the back of what's going on behind the scenes. The more you dilute the field, the less interesting it is.
Good stuff. All right. Do you think, just while I'm doing up these scores, do you think that's what's going to happen with Wadapalooza? Do you think it's going to be like one event will be team, or do you think Miami will always stay as both?
I actually know what it's going to be, so I can't.
Wow, he's got insider information, dude. He shouldn't get any points for these questions. Come on. Insider trading, dude. Old Nancy Pelosi over here on the right.
Maybe it's a red herring. Maybe they just told me misinformation.
Maybe.
So I would
all
spread
right.
it amongst the community.
Yeah, it's like a test. Who's the one person we told that to? Vellner. So Seth, you're on 4.5. Taylor, you're on 3. Pat, you're on 4. Yeah, I don't know. I think I what actually swung the extra half point there for Seth was the idea of like a replacement rather than just saying teams is shit, like actually coming up with a potential viable option. I disagree. I kind of like watching teams, but whatever, maybe that's just me. You care about the teams because they're comprised of athletes that have succeeded individuals. Oh, in Miami. Yeah. Okay, fair. Anything else there of interest? I used to somewhat dislike Taylor, but I do rather enjoy his shit talk and passion for the sport.
That's great. Yeah, I hate me too.
Yeah, I love those,
losing,
like,
dude. I'm just gonna talk about Mal, Brian Spin, and O'Keefe maybe for this last question and just go rogue.
I love the fact that every compliment just has to be like backhanded. There's never like just like a genuine compliment. All right, last topic. So at the weekend at Wadapalooza for Savan's podcast, mic'd up Colton Mertens for individual events. Not to swim, obviously, because they didn't want to electrocute him like a hairdryer in a bathtub. And they mic'd up Dallin Pepper and Jason Hopper, who were on a team with Ricky Gerard for Team Tier. And they've had some clips come out, and the idea is that there's going to be like a longer form. I think it's like 2 10 or 20-minute episodes. I'm actually not sure, but there's some episodes anyway coming. Basically to give us an insight of what's happening on the field of play while it's happening. And it would suggest that this might continue with other athletes or the same athletes going to semifinals and maybe beyond. And my question is, should CrossFit allow that to happen? Or is it the type of thing that they'll say, no, you can't do that? All right, so Pat, you're going first on this one. You've got 60 seconds and off you go.
They've actually done this stuff in the past already, things that bring athletes closer to the fans. CrossFit's partnership with Whoop, individual or Rogue Invitational put GoPros on athletes during the trail run. It's great. It brings people in. They really like it. We've seen it work in like the Netflix series and stuff like that. That just makes people care more about individuals and humanizes you, brings you closer to the sport. I think it maybe works in warm-ups. It maybe works in invitational competitions. I actually don't want to see it at the games. I think it very likely puts people in a really weird position where they need to decide between their performance mattering more or trying to put themselves out there more for media, which is a difficult decision already for athletes. I think it's going to contribute to athletes burning out, which we already have a huge problem with, where all of a sudden, if everything you say, everything you think is already put up for public access, I'm generally well liked, and I don't know if I would be the same if everybody knew everything I was thinking and saying back there. So I don't want that.
Oh shit, Vellner's throwing shade at himself. All right, Seth, you've got 60 seconds. Off you go.
I think it's a great idea, but I think CrossFit should own it and take control of it because it's a great way to show the behind the scenes and get things interested. If I got to hear all the mic'd up stuff happening in other pro sports, I would go to pay-per-view and pay extra to hear what's actually happening behind the scenes. But just letting anyone get mic'd up and then having that own content for themselves and stealing it for themselves, I don't think they should be allowed to do that. I think CrossFit should take some ownership and take direction with their media and use this as a tool to, again, tell the story. It goes back to the last question where, we're not telling stories well for the athletes and getting fans excited. This is another way to tell someone the story. And to Pat's point about the athletes getting burned out, athletes could volunteer to wear a microphone. They don't have to be forced to. They could volunteer to do that. And that could be something that, CrossFit puts out later, and it helps build that personal brand. It can be a decision by the athlete to do it or not at that more personal level. And I think athletes do need to take a risk to put themselves out and have a chance of getting more sponsorships for their own longevity.
stuff. I have you muted, Pat. Just Owen was kind of taking over the run of the show there, but when it's your turn again, I'll unmute you. All right, Taylor, you've got 60 seconds on topic, please. Off you go.
Yeah, yes. I think they should for sure allow athletes to be mic'd up. And I don't think CrossFit should take control of it in any way, because to be quite honest, any piece of media they put out, at least over the past year or two, has been complete poop. No one consumes it. They can't even promote it. Their departments can't get on board with one another. It's garbage. That being said, I think the companies that do this, or the separate private media organizations that take a hold on this, need to be very specific and particular about the athletes that they choose to mic up. For example, I think Danielle Brandon would be a great person to mic up because of the emotional explosions that inherently happen when she competes. Similarly, Lazar Jukic, or as we saw at Wodapalooza, Colton Mertens calling people pussy ass bitches after they rolled on the floor and he didn't. I think it's a great idea. I also don't like the term burnout. There are injuries in every sport. There's burnout in every sport. And maybe the athletes should be a little more open and honest about what's actually going on, because we have no idea.
I'm sure Pat's never been happier that his headphones in when you said that after you picked up.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Sorry, Owen.
All right, Pat, you got 20 seconds rebuttal. Off you go.
So, Seth, what's actually happening? It's this. It wouldn't be really fun to listen to most of the time. Maybe in teams. I think saying that, giving people the choice. Yeah, the choice is either you say yes, you get more sponsorship, you make yourself more vulnerable. That's not much of a choice. Calling it burnout is still burnout.
All right. Seth, you're up. You got 40 or 20 seconds. Off you go.
No. I do agree that the media team for CrossFit right now is currently shit. Hopefully they take a step in the right direction. That's what I'm banking on, even though it probably won't happen. But at the very least, maybe they contract other people out like Savan and others to do this for them. I do think it's a plus. I do think athletes should be putting themselves out there more. We have to tell the story better to get fans excited.
All right. Taylor, you've got 20 seconds. Off you go.
I agree with Seth. We have to tell the story better to get people excited and make the athletes more relatable to the fans. I think anytime you look on social media and the athletes who are well liked by everyone, they're generally well liked. But I want more polarizing people that people either hate or they love because they feel like they know who they actually are. I think that draws more people in regardless.
Okay. Good stuff. We'll let Owen have the
all
floor.
On the backs of the athletes.
Yeah, dude, put it on your back, bro. I'm a games athlete. I'm a games athlete, dude.
We'll prop up CrossFit.
You will. You will. That you will.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do what you do, but you can do it.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm here.
Hi, Owen.
How old is he, Pat?
He's 2.5.
Wow.
Wow, and he's better at debating than Taylor. My God.
He is. I was just going to say, dude, he knows more words than I do, dude.
All right. That was tight, man. So I thought Taylor actually won that round. I gave Taylor 3 for that one. I thought he actually won that one, but he just let himself down in the middle round and held himself back. So Seth wins on 6.5 points. Pat and Taylor are tied on 6 points. I take all points on that last one. I just suppose my thing with it putting pressure on athletes. I mean, if the athletes are saying, "Hey, I want to do it," I guess they're signing up for whatever. It's their choice to do it. Like Colton, I'm sure knew. My
point is, it's the illusion of option.
You're right.
Everybody has to say yes. Everybody has to say yes, or else you're handcuffing your career.
Savan was saying that people said no to him this time. That he approached multiple athletes.
At the games, and this is something that's more mainstream. You got to think it's like.
I also think
people who can say no are people like Laura, people like Justin, who don't need it as an additional.
Brent says they mic up athletes in the NBA, NHL, etc., but they have a salary. Yeah, so I guess that's different. It would be cool though, even
your performance or your sponsorship.
Yeah, even I guess that's the thing. It's like you're deciding between your performance and your authenticity. Then you're like, am I going to pretend to be someone I'm not because there's a mic on me and I'm going to put on a show, or am I just going to be myself? And then people will either find it entertaining or or it'll be edited to be entertaining, or I'll be found out to be just boring, and that's fine too. But if you're like, oh, there's a mic on me, I better like say something wacky to the judge, like, then you've got bigger problems if that's what your focus is. I think
But
anyway.
usually
so
little of that's
I just
used.
think I knew that you guys were both going to argue for, because it's the
Yeah.
obvious answer. So as an athlete, I think that's my perspective is one that is often overlooked, I think. And you guys forget about that those are people, and just facing with those decisions, it's not really a decision. You're just like, that's what you have to do now. This is what we do now. And it's just another thing that's going to eat away a piece of your bandwidth. And then it's, what else is left for you? Everything is public domain. Okay, buddy.
I think a good thing for like you see it in soccer sometimes where they have like those like kind of pitch side mics that just pick up like ambient sound, and sometimes that might be someone telling someone to F off, or it might be someone saying like, oh, that's bull, whatever. Like I think those kind of things are cool, but I guess maybe that might be even more dangerous, because if the athletes don't know that they're being recorded or what they say, it could be worse. Whereas at least if they're buying in saying, I'm signing up for this, that's perfect. And I suppose there's an element of you're beholden to, like, say, the guys this weekend were beholden to Savan and Rios and Will and everyone that's editing it and putting it together, that they're not going to shaft them. And as far as I know, Savan has said that they'll have like final sign off, as in like, I'm happy for that to go out, or maybe just leave that bit out that really makes me look bad, or I'm sure it won't be out like that, but that's the point anyway. All right, Seth, you didn't think you were going to win the last time, so you didn't prepare anything.
I want to play with my fort game.
Your
Thanks,
what
Pat.
game? I beg your pardon, Owen. Your what game?
I don't know.
That sounded like I wanted to play with my fart game. I'm not gonna lie. All right, Seth, you've got 30 seconds to talk about whatever you want to talk about. You forgot about this last time, so I'm presuming you did now this time too. Off you go.
I guess I'll just do some selfless promotion today. Just say you can check out my training program, Jump Ship Training, and my app always works compared to Taylor's app, which never works for his program. Happy to have this 30 seconds to promote myself, giving away free backpack to anyone who signs up for this month. $29 for a month, and you get a free Jump Ship backpack. So just putting that out there in case you want to check it out. It's backpack's worth more than a month of the training, so get yourself one.
Cool.
Probably a Jan sport.
They must be.
You wish.
They must be really shit backpacks. They're free.
JanSport's legit.
Yeah.
I wonder how many. I wonder how many little Chinese kids' fingers you'll find inside those bags when you open up the zip.
Oh, dude, I already went through them. I took them all out.
All right, Pat, thanks very much. Congrats on your performance at the weekend. Taylor, thank you very much. You can find Taylor if you go to Sentinel Training, sentinel.fitter.training. You can sign up for Sentinel, and you can search Jump Ship Training as well for Seth's free bags that he's giving away. So next week there's a new round starting, and fucked if I can remember who's on it. John Young, Thibaut Celine that owns GoWad, and
John Young, smartest man in CrossFit.
Wow, John Young is going on.
Can you say that without a tone? Can you say that without a tone, Pat?
I just would have liked to have seen him versus Vellner, because that would have probably.
I can't say anything without a tone.
Vaki Etzebeth, Thibaut Celine. That's going to be a hard week for names. And John Young are next week. The week after that is Brian Spin, Matt O'Keefe, and Dallin Pepper. And the week after that, all the names have question marks after them, so I'm not going to call any of them out because I don't think I've actually asked those people yet. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Seth. If you want to, go and watch everyone apart from Seth features in the vlogs that I did from Wodapalooza, because he wasn't there. He would have if he was there. We got a team version which heavily features Patrick, and we've got an individual version which Pat's also in, but he's more so in the team one. So you can go and find that on YouTube. You just click around here. Wow, under 30 minutes. God, we fucking stomped this. Thanks, guys. Thanks very much. And see everybody next Wednesday for another